Well, welcome to Helena for the 2016 Business Days at the Capitol. You know, I know firsthand there's no better place to live and work than Montana. I also know that our small businesses are critical to Montana's economy and our state's future. According to the Small Business Administration, small businesses represent more than 97% of all Montana employers, in turn employing more than 68% of Montana's private sector labor force. And I'm excited to say that there are a lot of small business success stories in Montana. We have countless business leaders and entrepreneurs working to drive our state's economic growth and helping us lead the way in a variety of industries, from tourism and agriculture to technology, as well as resource development. And like you, I recognize that a key component in our state's future economic success is strengthening Montana's infrastructure. I'm excited to announce that near the end of last year, Congress passed the longest multi-year highway bill in 17 years. In fact, it was the first multi-year bill since 2009 and did so without raising taxes. In Montana, nearly 90% of our highway program is supported by federal dollars. The highway bill will provide an estimated $2.28 billion over the next 5 years to Montana. This marks a critical step forward in providing our state with the certainty needed to make long-term infrastructure investments. And I was proud to see this important legislation garner overwhelming bipartisan support, as well as President Obama's signature. You know, this is an exciting time to do business in Montana. From our growing technology sector to our state's diverse natural resources, there's a lot of opportunity to create jobs and grow businesses right here in Montana. Unfortunately, the federal government's out-of-touch policies and their bureaucratic overreach continue to prevent Montana's small businesses from reaching their full potential. Too many Montana businesses face regulatory burdens that hinder innovation, that block opportunities for growth. In fact, look no further than the Obama administration's recent anti-coal regulations. The Bureau of Business and Economic Research from the University of Montana recently released a study showing that the EPA's new regulations will likely lead to the full closure of Montana's Colstrip power plant and the loss of more than 7,000 good-paying Montana jobs. The United States should be on the cutting edge of technological advances in energy development, not actively working against entrepreneurs who can help our country power the world. Yet when Congress acted in passing two bipartisan resolutions disapproving of these proposed regulations, President Obama rejected the will of the American people and he vetoed them. Rest assured, I will continue pushing back against President Obama's job-killing, anti-energy, anti-Montana agenda. You know, when I drive around in Montana, I've yet to hear a small business owner ask for more regulations or ask for higher taxes. We need common sense policies that encourage Montana's job creators to innovate and to grow. We need solutions to lift regulatory barriers, to reduce tax burdens, and create long-term certainty for hardworking Montanans. I've long said that the best solutions don't come from bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. They come from Main Street, Montana, and our state's hardworking business and community leaders. Because in Montana, we understand that jobs come from small business, not big government. Instead of hindering our small businesses, we should reward them. We should incentivize them with the flexibility they need to thrive and empower them with the tools they need to expand and create jobs. We need to continue to find ways to encourage investment, to encourage entrepreneurship, to encourage innovation in our state and across the entire country. Because when small businesses succeed, our economy thrives. Because our country was founded on the principles of hard work and entrepreneurialism. I'm proud that Montana's small businesses continue to exemplify these pillars of our nation's heritage and are leading the way in economic innovation. Thank you all for the work you do on behalf of Montana. You play an integral role in our economy, and I know you all join me when I say I'm incredibly proud to call Montana home. And please don't hesitate to contact our offices, whether the offices we have across Montana or in Washington, D.C., if you have any ideas or any concerns. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Happy New Year from the United States Senate. It is hard to believe that it's 2016 already. It feels like just yesterday that we were beginning the new millennium. It was 2000 and I had just finished up my first session in the Montana legislature, and our state capitol was in the midst of a massive remodel. A year later, we saw over 3,000 American civilians tragically killed during terrorist attacks. Fast forward 2 more years and we were embroiled in 2 wars in the Middle East, and little did we know at that time those conflicts would plague us for more than a decade. Then in 2006, you put your faith in a farmer from north central Montana. I entered the United States Senate ranked number 100 in seniority. This was just a few months before that we saw the greatest economic meltdown in our lifetimes. Then in what was the greatest democratic meltdown, the United States Supreme Court issued one of the worst rulings in American history. Yes, Citizens United opened the floodgates to secret, unlimited amounts of cash in our elections, drowning out your voices. Now, as we look into this new year, there is no shortage of challenges. We have to reduce our $19 trillion debt, which soon will be larger than the GDP of the United States. And that won't get addressed when members of Congress vote for an $800 billion spending bill without finding ways to pay for it, just like they did back in December. We also have to make our tax code simpler and more fair for working families and small businesses. We have to make education more affordable and healthcare reform work better. We must invest in infrastructure, in not just roads and bridges, but also broadband. And we have to destroy ISIS with the help of our allies so that we can finally bring an end to this costly war. But we can't accomplish these things until we reform our campaign finance system and pledge to put aside our differences and work together. You have my commitment. As someone whose seniority only 9 years ago was 100, now is in the low 40s. I will continue to work together in a bipartisan way to tackle these tough issues. And I will continue to use my position as a senior member of the Senate to put Montana's small businesses and families first as we address the many challenges that we face. Have a great new year, and as always, stay in touch.